Black Owl, we back. We back with another one just like that. Pulse 3. Welcome to another Pulse here at CUZZO-OP. My name is Isaiah. I am one of the hosts here at CUZZO-OP, and I am joined by my brother and my cousin.
Willie, also known as Arrow to the Face.
Yes, sir. And we here because we want to just give you, these Pulse episodes for those who are just listening for the first time to a Pulse episode. Brief, just what's going on in entertainment culture, what's going on in gaming, what's going on in TV, what's going on with movies right now. And so we want to kind of go through those one by one. I want to start off with gaming today and talk about the game that is taking the world by storm. It feels like everyone is feeling the nostalgia. People who I would have not heard about gaming or any news from gaming, I'm getting texts now because this game is out because they all bought it and they're really loving it. Let's talk about DBZ, Dragon Ball Z, Sparking Zero. Bro, have you played it? Did you buy it? What are you doing? What's up with it? Are you liking it?
Of course I've played it. I got the game, I got the game, you know what I mean? And it's been interesting. I'm not going to sit here and paint you that it's the perfect Dragon Ball game to ever be in existence. I think like a lot of people are jumping onto that fairly quickly. And I have thoughts behind as to why that might be. But it's been fun. I've enjoyed my time with it. I think just to dive into that. I mean, first, have you played it all? Do you own it? Or are you kind of just seeing the waters?
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I've only played it for a couple hours now, just getting the feel for it. But I haven't sat for 5-6 hours and really been embedded in the game, which I plan to do this weekend. So there's actually my boys are trying to put together a tournament. That's the thing about DBZ, right? It's we got dudes who would never play video games together that are hopping into tournaments, beating each other's ass. I think that's mad fun.
Right. That's great. So tough. Yeah, no, that's really fun. I mean, I think it's a reminder of why Dragon Ball is just quite simply the GOAT. I mean, no way around it. Anime has their big three. I believe it's Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece, right? Mm-hmm. And people, what about Dragon Ball? And I mean, I feel like most people recognize that Dragon Ball is above the big three. I'm not trying to say it's better, because I know people will get there, upset, but we all know their inspiration was Toriyama, who passed away earlier this year. We had a Dragon Ball conversation earlier this year. And so this game is just a reminder of just seeing the sales, 3 million within those 24 hours, crashing X and other areas. I'm pretty sure Sony had a little bit of a bumpy road when it came time to download the game 2 days early. It was crazy. Now in terms of it being the greatest game, I don't think it is. I mean, I just straight up think that there are things about the game that are lazy. I think there are things about the game that could have been worked on better or would have been better if it was done a different way. That being said, I also think, it's just been a long time since we've had a game like this. Xenoverse came out, I believe, in 2014-15, and then the second one came out the year after, and that was kind of the game that was holding the multiplayer, the classic multiplayer Dragon Ball up. We had Fighter Z, more of the 2D Mortal Kombat-esque. We had Kakarot, but people have been wanting the Budokai Tenkaichi series. And that's probably my second favorite series, because I'm a Raging Blast fan. I'll be straight up, but
so you're a Raging what?
Raging Blast fan.
Oh,
and with this game, it's the story mode. I look at it and I feel disappointed because they're only letting you play as 8 characters and they're skipping over fights and characters' storylines coming to an end way earlier than they should. So I'm thinking if they went this route, they should have went all the way. They half-assed this route. And because they half-assed this route, I'm if you would have just went all the way, then it would have been better. Straight up. We're skipping peak fights. We're skipping important fights just for the sakes of what? Right. Saving time? Because now I'm looking at the story I played 4 fights as Piccolo and I'm done.
Right. Or what about the, what if ideas? The
what if ideas are cool when, I think that could have been implemented better too. In terms of the main story, they have a separate section where you could go and just find your own or make your own. That's awesome as hell. But in the story, there are fights that don't even tell you until you beat it once how to unlock the what if. Or opposite, there will be a fight where if you just whoop the dude's ass so fast, congrats, you're in a what if story now. And I'm like, well, wait, I was just trying to play the game normally and then circle back. So, I have to perfectly deflect a move in order to be canon, and nobody told me this. I had to just Google that to find out, or just by chance do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, that's cool, right? And then for me, I'm like, no, because it's frustrating. But again, it's not that big a deal with those what ifs in the story. It's easily moved past. But again, when the story just feels half-assed,
right?
When someone like Gohan, who he's been there since the Jump of Z, his story doesn't start until he's already a Super Saiyan. That's where his story starts. I don't like that.
Right.
I don't like that. But the other areas in the game are fun. In multiplayer, they need to give me more time to pick my characters when I'm going into a match. If I'm trying to do the math for their DP system, 40 seconds is not enough to pick 5 characters when every time you pick a character, they hit a little, I am the future, and then it goes to
and then it's like you lose.
And now I'm walking into the match with 3 people. My opponent got 4, and we're just like, is this fair? So I've been having fun. I've been having fun.
I'm glad you're having fun. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, as an OG fan that loves it, I can understand, the things that you're not the only person that's voicing those concerns, but there's also people who've never been exposed to DBZ at all. And as an entry, I do like the idea of them getting a little lost. I do like some of that. And especially with the fighting, I like some of the fighting systems that they've added. There are obviously broken characters, very broken. And I don't know how I feel about that. How I keep my opinion on that, but 182 characters is an incredible feat. Even if like half of them are Goku
and Vegeta,
I still think it's cool that there's 182 and there's places for them to go. So I hope that we get that constant love and DLC packs and more story. I know they did a little bit of that with Kakarot, a little bit of couple DLCs. I think maybe 1 or 2, but
Kakarot, it's had a few DLCs. It just last week, at the very tail end of the week on Thursday, they announced DLC for the new Daima show for Sparking Zero as well as Kakarot. And so there's just a lot going on in that area.
I love that they're getting, there's love and light and life that's coming from this area, from this game, especially in light of the loss of the creator. You know what I mean? That's a sad concept. So to celebrate what he's done is super dope. I know he's probably smiling, seeing everybody catch these hands. You know what I mean? That's a very cool thing from the other side. But let's talk TV, since you talked a little bit of Naima, right? I know that we want to focus a little bit on Invincible, right? We got the Invincible teaser trailer for season 3 that came out this week. And they found a little meta comical way to say that there is no mid-season break that's coming this time. We're getting the whole thing. What do we feel about that?
Good that there's no mid-season break. I'm glad that we've reached that step of, you want to take 4 years to drop your season. Let's not stop after 4 episodes.
Please.
Good for them, and good for those who are excited about that show. And I mean, that's what.
I forgot you don't really give 2 craps about this show. I'm excited about it. Why am I giving? Why do I care? I care because I feel like, again, when you look at this show, it's an entryway show for a lot of people, especially it being on Amazon Prime. When it comes to this format of TV show, I hope that what they're saying they're going to do will fix a lot of what we talked about in our Invincible season 2 episode, laziness about certain design decisions. I hope that we get higher quality, kind of more in touch with the first season's quality. Maybe this will lead to that. From what it looks like in the trailer, though, I can't really tell. It's really a teaser through and through. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm excited for that to drop, though, February 6th, 2025.
Bro, like, one last thing to say about Invincible is that, some people online have this opinion, and maybe I agree just a little bit, just because I want them to push to be better than they currently are. The trailer, the little teaser trailer, whoever did that, they might want to keep them around for the show. an animated department, because the teaser, it looks a little cleaner.
It
It
does.
looks a little cleaner. So
I noticed that it
I
looked a little
I
different than season 2, right?
I think, push for them to be more. Let's not just accept what is because it's what's been given. Um, we can like it but also push for more, and that's something I feel about anything. If you like it, you can still want more from it. And I think there's promise in Invincible, but season 2 didn't show me that the way season 1 did, and the handling of it kind of has pushed me away a little. So we'll see, because I'm gonna watch it. That's not in question.
Right.
But yeah, so that's my Invincible talk.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, as Cecil says in the teaser, there's a lot of great story. We're only in the first quarter, not even first fifth of Invincible story here. So I hope that they can get that together and that we see that, and that when it's all said and done and we have it all in a digital format, we can say that they grew piece by piece, season by season, and that for those of us who were here when it started, we got to see that. That's super dope. But let's pivot, man. For the last section here, let's talk movies. There's a lot going on in movie world, but I want to talk about some movies that maybe you've seen as of late that we may or may not expound on and have another episode on. But let's talk. What are some movies you've seen recently that you're like, oh, I really enjoyed this?
So I mean, I gotta just be difficult a little bit. You talking about like new, right? You talking about the newer?
Like anything you went into the theater and you saw that's newly released.
Okay. So I saw We Live in Time, I should say. And I gotta sit on my thoughts on that one. I don't know if we'll come around, hit that episode or not. We get into the end of the year. It's tough looking, but it was interesting. So
I envy you. I want to go see that. I'll let you know, because you know me, I'm a sucker for a good rom. I'm good for the rom drams.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and those are two stacked actors. You know what I mean? Two great actors.
And I will say, good job to them. They did good.
Shout out Garfield. Shout out Florence.
I saw Saturday Night, the supposed story for the first night of SNL. I've heard things about how that's not necessarily what happened, what they showed in the movie. The movie was interesting. It was, I think, like a solid maybe 6 for me. Because I keep that realness of like, oh, interesting, but also it was just kind of like stuff happening. It was enjoyable, but it was just kind of stuff happening. So when it's just the stuff happening, kind of enjoyable, but not necessarily the truth. Yeah, that's where my 6 comes from on that particular note. And I know one other movie that we are gonna be talking about soon was Joker 2, and I just wanted to name that because, well, I saw it, you've seen it, we have our thoughts, and you could definitely expect that one. So yeah,
absolutely. I'm excited to talk about Joker 2 because I feel like I have an opinion that is opposite of what the people are saying. And so it should be an interesting time. I honestly haven't been to the movies quite often. I was texting my boy the other day and I was like, man, we haven't been to the movies in a minute. We need to go see something, I hope to see that We Live in Time, but I'll cheat a little. One Netflix movie that I did see recently was Rebel Ridge. And I do want to say Rebel Ridge was good. I felt like it was a fun time. It's not like, oh, wow, this is going to win awards, but we have a reason why it's worth mentioning. You know what I mean? Why is it worth mentioning, Willie? Why is it worth mentioning, Willie?
The dude that I think he's in Rebel Ridge, because I haven't seen it. I want to see it. But it's October. I'm doing my spooky movie marathon, one scary movie a day. He was casted as Jon Stewart in the new DC movie universe. And I've heard great things about him, and everybody's saying, oh, he's a great pick. Then the other side, he's not a great pick. He's going to be ass. And I kind of just fall in I don't know the actor, so I don't know if he is a good pick or not based on his acting skills. I know the creator of Jon Stewart had an idea for his character. This guy doesn't fit into it, so in that aspect, he's not. But I'm not in either pool of he's ass or he's great. I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table. Hopefully those who don't like it can overcome that. Hopefully those who are excited for it a lot cannot suck it off and suck it and, it's going to be, let's wait. I'm excited to see how this universe is shaping up, though, especially with that, Clark and Crypto pick that dropped last week too. I'm excited.
I think it's in good hands. I think Guns got it. And yeah, so I'd highly recommend Rebel Ridge. Go watch that for sure. It has Anna Sophia Robb in it. Shout outs to Bridget Terabithia. You know what I mean? It was a goodie. It has that whole like Jack Reacher, stranger with a mysterious past, enters a corrupt town and takes all the corrupt guys out, like type vibe, which is always a fun watch. So we just wanted to quickly touch on video games, TV, movies, some things that we got going on over here at CUZZO-OP. But stay tuned to us this weekend. We'll have another episode of CUZZO-OP out, the usual. So stay tapped in and know every time you tap in with us, whether you're watching a full episode or you're listening to just a pulse, you're always going to find three things. And that's two cousins, one podcast, and endless entertainment. Till next time.